I'm the Poke Master. I'm the Poke Master. That's what I'm talking about. No way. No way. What is this, Aladdin? Look at this thing. Wow, is this really gonna work? Abracadabra? Abracadabra? What up? What up? How we doing? You're a real genie, huh? Of course I'm a genie. Look at me. I'm dressed like a genie. I look like a genie. I'm your genie. At your service, sir. What can I do for you? Talk to me, Nick. Talk to me. Nice to meet you, Mr. Genie. So do I get 3 wishes? 3? No, whoa, no. The 3 wishes thing was in the 90s. The economy was a little different then. Nowadays, you find a lamp, you get a genie. 1 wish, man. 1 wish, my guy. Perfectly understandable. But 1 wish, man, I got it. This is what I want. You ready for this? Okay? Get a pen and piece of paper unless you have a really good memory. I don't know how, whatever. I got an idea, okay? So I want you to make me the perfect turntable. Obviously plays records and everything and whatnot, but I also want it to have like little pads, you know, for like stems. Oh, and can you also somehow, oh yeah, make it a hybrid, like not only just like a regular turntable with a tone arm, but can you make it where like I don't have to use the tone arm with Serato, you know, kind of like Phase, right? You know, like where it just has it built in, but like no batteries. No batteries, I don't want anything to charge, I don't want anything to die. And you know what, while I'm at it, could you even make it where like it fixes warped records, you know? So somehow like you could like do something with this turntable, it'll fix the warped record. Yeah, I mean, that sounds all well and good, but I don't think I can do the whole turntable thing. That's a lot. Can you give me anything else? Give me something else. I don't. Oh, I didn't think so. All right, I'll tell you what then. Make me the most classically handsome person on earth. I want a 6-pack. I want to be better looking than Tom Cruise in his prime. Okay. You know what? Let's just let's go back to the turntable thing. Actually, let's revisit that. Never mind the. We'll just let me see what I can do about the turntable thing. I don't know how I should feel about that, but okay. Here we go. Come on. Bobbity boobity, beebity bobbity. Virtual DJ sucks, huh? Your wish was my command, Nick Spinelli. No way. For real? Your 2 turntables are here. They are made. And they're waiting at your house right now. A couple things though, we want to put the lamp back where we found it, you know, keep it nice and shiny, keep it. Give the guy away, I can't even, I just feel bullshit, I can't. So it's here, people, the Pioneer PLX-CRSS12. We have so much to talk about. Let's dive in. Wow. Well, first impressions, it's absolutely beautiful. Matte black, murdered out, everything's black, the tone arm's black, the weights are black, everything but the platter. I mean, I love the look of this. I couldn't have made it any more beautiful myself. Now, what Pioneer did was, this is the PLX-1000, but they just upgraded to the gods. It's the same great construction as the PLX-1000. They did add like rubber tubing to the tone arm to help with vibration, like little adjustments like that, you know, to make it even better when it comes to playing vinyl and using needles and stuff like that, but they took it to a whole nother level. First of all, not only does it obviously play vinyl, not only does it obviously do DVS, you know, with the timecode vinyl and all that other stuff. With the first ever MAGVEL clamp, it can literally, without the tone arm, play DVS. Literally control Serato or rekordbox without the tone arm. But what's different between other products and this is that it works based on the RCAs. So like, it's a real timecode like signal. It's not HID mode, it's not digital, it's a true signal that you get out of this. And you don't have to charge this clamp, you know what I mean? There's no batteries, nothing like that. You clamp it on, it hydromodulates somehow, and it works amazingly. And you might ask like, oh, well, HID mode's great. The timecode signal, what's the difference? First of all, there's nothing better than a timecode signal because it's analog, it's the real deal, okay? There's nothing better than that. That's why I still use needles, everything else. I think it is literally the best way to DJ. Zero latency whatsoever. Second of all, let's say you like this turntable, but you still use Scratch Live. Or you still use like an older program, a legacy program or something like that. You know, you like the old school stuff and that's it. It works only through the RCA. So you could still use that technology on this turntable, you know? It's not like you need to upgrade to the newest stuff. The newest stuff and the USB and all that extra stuff is for all the fancy buttons on here we're about to talk about. But the actual like playing DVS without the tone arm is done straight through the RCAs, the right way. Ah, thank you, Genie and Pioneer. But now let's say, you use the newest rekordbox of Serato, you want to utilize all the features on this bad boy. Well, that's where the USB comes in. So each one of these turntables has a USB-C port. It comes with a C to A cable, and it's meant to connect right to your mixer. So like an S11 or S7 or any other mixer that has the USB ports on there. And what that does is that reads the program you're using and is able to transfer different data and allow you to use all the MIDI features on this. So we'll start with the screen. So the screen is really, really cool. It shows your key, it shows your BPM. It is right under the tone arm, but the angle when you're like DJing with it, you could see it perfect all day. Like it really does look good, and it's cool to just have like that little screen so you can kind of, when you're adjusting your BPMs, things like that, you get that accurate, and I'm a big fan of the screen. So the other thing the USB controls is this little MIDI section right here, which is super clutch. So you have 4 MIDI mappable pads here, and they're all pre-programmed. You can basically like do a lot of different things with them. There's only 4, right? So you have a 5 and 8 button, so you can switch to the 5 and 8 as well. So it works exactly like you're used to, like on your controller or on your mixer or whatever. It literally goes right to the 5 and 8. So no matter what you're using it, it's whatever the 5 and 8 pads do, that's what it'll do. Just so you know, I tested out with every feature. And it's made to do a bunch of different things based on what program you do. Like if you use Serato, it'll work for hot cue, it'll work for your stems. You could do your roll function on here. You can control your sampler on here, your scratch bank, and save loop. If you're using this with rekordbox, it'll control your hot cue, your sampler, your track separation, sample scratch, pad FX1, and beat jump. I will say though, it's labeled for Serato, which I kind of like, personally, because I'm a Serato user. Real easy to use. You got your shift button here. Let's say you want to like control stems. I'm on the hot cues now. It's all color, right? Shift, bam. Now I'm on my stems. Now I can like take away the stems, your drums, your bass, your melody, and your vocals. Right here, nice and easy. And then like, even with like the stem effects, you just hit 5 to 8, and then now this is like your instrumental break. This is your acapella echo out, so you can still control all those things with just a push of a button. Very intuitive, great pads, great responsiveness. Like I love this. It's in a perfect little spot. It's just so clutch to have this here, and just so versatile in general. And in addition to all the fun MIDI stuff, you have, your basic stop start button, your 33, 45 buttons. They did put a motor off button, which is super clutch. So the power button to this is actually like on the side here. So like, let's say, you want to do like, if you ever seen the Turntables trick where like they turn the motor off and then they like wah wah wah, things like that, like with scratching, you wouldn't be able to do that because like the button's on the side, like the power button's on the side. But they geniusly engineered a little motor off button here where you can literally just turn the motor off. It keeps everything else on, everything else going, so you can do those different cool effects. So shout to Pioneer for that. And then up top here, in addition to the screen that gives you all this information, you have the application button, which basically selects which application you're using it with, so rekordbox or Serato. You got the deck selection button, which allows you to select which deck you want to control with this MIDI stuff. You have the needle mode. You can select between digital vinyl and analog. Analog would be for if you're going to use the needle, whether it's with DVS or with real vinyl, and then digital vinyl is when you're doing it wirelessly, controlling DVS wirelessly without the tone arm with this little handy dandy Magvo clamp. And then up here, you got your pitch fader. Feels amazing, by the way. Such good quality, like, just butter. You got the reset button, that you're used to. And then you have 2 buttons up here. Your tempo range, which allows you to select between 8, 16, and 50%, so you can really stretch out the records and all that as you're used to. And finally, you have your step pitch button, which basically turns off your pitch and time. So when this is activated, when you pitch the song up or down, it's gonna pitch the key up or down, just like it did back in the day before we had pitch and time and all these technologies. Now, why would you want to do that? Well, number one, there's lots of cool tricks you can do, lots of cool ideas, even like kind of tone plays, even when you're scratching, being able to go up and down like that and change the pitch of the song. There's lots of creativity that can happen. But on top of that, something I've never seen before in my life is that when you have step pitch enabled and then you use the pitch fader up and down, this little handy dandy screen will tell you exactly what key you're in. But yeah, it's like they thought of everything. I'm not gonna lie. So let's talk about this little pioneer invention called the MAGVEL clamp. This thing is wild. So first of all, the purpose of it is it has this magnet, it has sensors in it somewhere, and it basically connects to the magnet on the platter here, and it communicates with Serato or rekordbox through RCA, so you can use DVS without the tone arm wirelessly. You don't have to worry about skipping, nothing, but you don't have to charge this at all. Like, it communicates via the magnet, and there's no battery, there's nothing. So this works forever. You never have to worry about it dying or anything like that. But on top of that, there's a little dial here where you can basically dial in your slip mat settings. So you basically use this dial and you can select all the way heavy or all the way light or in between. So right now it's on light, right? We're gonna click this on. When we click this on, now you can kind of see how it's kind of loosey-goosey, like the record's almost like hovering over top the platter for a very like fast, right? But then if we take this off and then we set it all the way to heavy, it's gonna clip the record down super tight. There's no gap anymore, and it's more of a harder feel. And then you could dial it in anywhere in between. So like, it's very, very customizable. And then of course, on top of that, with the software, you can adjust the torque of this turntable. So if you're used to more of a lighter torque, like a Technique, or you want a very high torque, you know, like the newer turntables or like the PLX-1000, the original, the OG, you can dial that in as well with the software. So it's very, very customizable to exactly how you like the record to feel. Now, the cool thing is if you're traveling with this, your MAGVEL clamp clips right next to the tone arm right here and stays there, so it's nice and easy peasy for traveling and whatnot. And that's not all. I feel like Billy Mays over here. Let's say you got like a wobbly record, right? Like we got a good old Stevie Wonder, right? This record's like not perfect, okay? It's been through hell. I bought this used. Someone probably rolled weed on this in the 70s and everything, right? Well, if you put this on here and then you tighten this clamp to the setting and then you pop it on here, it helps flatten out the record so it's easier to play, so it stays perfectly flat, because that's the technology. Like, it basically gives you a gap underneath the record or no gap. So if you have this on the tightest setting, even with real vinyl, it's gonna flatten it out so it plays even better, which is insane to me. Absolutely insane. All right, so let's try this bad boy out. So we're gonna start with the Essence, the real vinyl. We'll start with real vinyl, we'll work our way up. So I'm gonna start with my favorite record ever, one of my favorite records ever, Graduation. So put this bad boy on here. Now I have the clamp set to the heaviest position. That way it kind of like flattens out the record real nice. Like, ask Santi, I got a heavy hand, okay? Like, I can't, I was just like, I was really like chirping hard there and not one needle skip. All right, hear me out. I use DVS, okay? When I go from DVS and I'm feeling artsy fartsy, right? I'm feeling hipster-like and I want to play real vinyl, maybe it's in my room or whatever, I'm doing a set something, you know, there's always an adjustment, right? I always have to like, you know, okay, you know, you got to have a little bit of a lighter hand. Remember, you're on real vinyl, yada, yada, yada. Just jumping on this, like, it feels just as good as DVS. Like, there's no needle skip, there's no nothing. It's like, it's crazy, like how, like, there's something with this clamp and how it just levels the record perfectly, and the tone arm, and just like, I don't know, this is like the craziest, like, I've never really truly felt a turntable like this. Like, it's never been so smooth. Like, any Techniques, like any other turntable I've ever used, like, it's never felt like this. It's hard to explain. I've never felt, like, I don't know, it's insane. Wow. All right. 10 out of 10 on the real vinyl. 10 out of 10 on the real vinyl. Let's switch to DVS now. So we're gonna take our clamp off. We're gonna put our record back. We're gonna take our time code record, right? We're gonna take our Serato record, put it on, throw the clamp back on. Now we're gonna keep it in analog mode because we're using the tone arm and the needles and whatnot. We'll go here into Serato. We'll grab Good Life just for a good comparison, right? Put it back in this, and let's try her out now, right? I know, it probably hurt your ears, but I'm literally trying to make this thing skip. I can't. Yeah, all right. Equally as insane. Again, I use DVS every gig I do, and I can never cut that hard. I can never, like, you know, use it as aggressively as I just did. Like, I don't know if you realize, like, there's something to do with this clamp. It modulates it down or something. Like, this is blowing my mind. All right, well, I know how I can make a needle skip, okay? I'm gonna juggle. I'm gonna juggle, and I'm gonna aggressively juggle, and we'll see if we can get this needle to skip, okay? We'll try this, all right? Still using needle, we're using DVS. Let's try a juggle. So, right? All right, still no skip, okay. All right, you call me a fanboy all you want. I don't care what you say. I have never touched a turntable like this. I'm being dead serious, okay? I don't cap, I don't bullshit. If something sucks, I'll tell you when it sucks, okay? I'm happy to tell you what I think sucks. I have never felt anything like that. Like, it's insane. Like, it makes me sound better. Other turntables aren't this forgiving. They're just not. I'm telling you. Oh my God, insane. But all right, so the final trick, the grand finale, if you will, let's try the digital vinyl system. So for that, we're gonna remove our needles, bloop, bloop. And then on each turntable, we're gonna select digital vinyl. And now, theoretically, without adjusting anything in Serato, nothing's in internal mode, no wireless mode, no nothing, right? Just regular. Serato is exactly how it was when I was playing this. It should work, right? Like magic. Like magic, literally like magic. And then of course, obviously we're wireless. We're not using needles here, so you're not gonna have any skips, no vibration. There's zero latency. So final thoughts. I'd love to sit here and tell you what a downfall is. There's no downfall. There's 15 out of 10. I've never experienced turntables like these in my life, and I use turntables exclusively. I've never experienced anything like this in my life. They are by far the best turntables I've ever touched with these 10 fingers. And if you like turntables, these will blow you away in every category, in every aspect. It will blow you away. I am absolutely buying these. I am absolutely using them at every wedding and every gig. These are gonna be my new turntables moving forward, and that's it. I'm being dead ass serious. There's nothing else I could say. Like, these are the bee's knees. But seriously, get them. So the PLX-CRSS12 turntables are gonna be available in late September for the MAP price of $13.99. Definitely check out your local vendors. They should have them ASAP late September. And I know I'm getting them. Let me know in the comments if you are. But regardless, thank you for watching this video. I'll see you at the next one.